Hey everybody, how is it going? So today's a special episode. We've got, I think it's going to be the best way to go in this way. Got Anna with me in the background, and then the puppy I think is, there she is in the background, way back up there. So this morning, it's a Saturday, it's a family affair. We're out for the morning walk. And so in today's video, I want to talk about a conversation I had yesterday, and maybe this applies to some of you watching. Talking with a potential client, and we're talking about, it seems to be the theme here lately, talking about lead generation. And I always ask them, like, so what are you doing now, currently? What are you doing up to this point? And here for this business, one of the things that they did was they actually went out and they bought a list. So they bought an email list, and they bought an email list that was 2,200 emails for close to the same amount in cost, a little bit under, let's say under $2,000 in cost. And I apologize if it's a little windy. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. So they bought those, and their thought process was as well, with the price point of their product and the margin of their product, man, if we could just, out of those 2,200 emails, if just two of them if we could hit two of them and get two sales, it would more than pay. We'd double our money. Like it would more than pay for the emails. And so they went ahead with it. And I get that strategy, right? I get it. You do the math, you say, man, worst case scenario, like closing scenario, 2,200 opportunities, we got to get two sales from that. And it's a little bit of speculating, and I can understand where you're coming from, but what I would challenge you is, if you've ever been in a scenario where you thought about just buying a list, right? Number one, it's kind of the easy way, right? Somebody else maybe had done the work, and you're able to buy a list, and so a little bit of red flag there. The other thing is you got to look at the cost. So if you're buying somebody's email list for under $1 a lead, under $1 an email, like, that is extremely cheap. So my question is what kind of quality could they be? How really targeted could they be for the niche that you're going after? If you're able to get them for under $1, because if you go and ran campaigns yourself, you're not going to get $1 lead. Like I shouldn't say not. Chances are you're not going to. And so I would be very wary of that. So what's the quality of it? But the other thing is I want you to think about other opportunities to leverage that list. So obviously you're going to market to that list. You're going to reach out to them. If you're doing cold emails, if you're in this case, right, it's an email list. So cold emails and reaching out and doing it that way. So that's great. But then think about other ways you can repurpose it. We've talked about lookalike audiences. So what you could do is you could take that list, right? If it's in a certain niche, you could take that list, you can upload it into Facebook, and you can use that to create a lookalike audience from that. You could use that, you can create a custom audience from there, create a lookalike audience from that email list. Now, because they're in a certain niche, maybe you can go out there and you can start to test different percentage lookalike audiences from that, say 1,800 emails that you have, like somebody else has done the work. So look at it as ways of it not, if you're going to buy a list, figure out ways and try to leverage it to where it's not just, the only return on investment is if I buy the list and I market to those emails, to those leads, and whatever direct sales I might get from it. Think about other ways that you can repurpose those dollars. You bought the list, you marketed them, boom, there's the direct ROI. If then you market to it, you uploaded it, you start testing different audiences, that can help you to get if you're running Facebook campaigns, that can help to get your ad spend a little bit more efficient. So think about some of that. Think about ways to, I'm all about, hey, if you could put $1 in, if you can invest $1 somewhere, how can you repurpose that dollar in multiple places, right? You're buying one thing, how can you repurpose it to help you in multiple facets of your business? And that might be one way. If you're buying email lists, that don't just think that it's do or die, it's on that direct ROI, repurpose it. You can leverage it in your Facebook ads, have your, running your own campaign. That's the other thing, is in this scenario, you don't own the system, right? If you buy those leads and they don't turn out and you want more, you got to go back to the well, right? You got to go back and you got to buy more from them. So here's a way where you can maybe buy those. They can help to speed up the process, but make sure that you've got your own system in place and you're generating your own leads, but maybe you can leverage them to help speed up the process and make your stuff more efficient. So hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this makes sense. If you're buying email lists, something to consider, and hopefully you found some value in it, and we will talk to you next time.